again. A long time no see. It's been over a year since we had our last fun with film. At least over a year. I don't know how it feels like forever. Well, this is kind of a short video to say we're still alive. Film is still very much alive, and it's that we're going to look at. In the meantime, just to fill in a bit of what's going on. Yeah, you know about the shop. We moved to the dark side. We got actually, because of the nature of the world, we got quite heavily involved in the dark side, and we've brought some of that back here. We've brought the Arduinos back. We play around quite a lot with Arduino now, but of course, as soon as we're out of there, the real world of silver has returned, and the work, any photographic work I'm doing now, is pretty much exclusively on film. Anyway, what's happening in the world of film? This is going to be a bit of me talking and you looking at pictures, because I just had to dig around and I've missed so much in the last year which we do need to look at. And we're just going to pick selected highlights. Our usual friends, you know, all the old rubbish, some the brilliant stuff actually. I love Ilford Film, I just can't afford it. Ilford, Kodak, Fuma are still there. And in some cases with some little additions that are quite exciting. So we'll have a look. The first one I find of hello, what's new, or what haven't I seen before, is a thing JCH Street Pan, which, according to the description, Street Pan 400 film has quickly gained a loyal following from 35mm photographers who love its high contrast and high grain feel. You mean, you know, you can do that with Tri-X, you can do that with HP5. What's it offering that's different? We don't know because we can't test it because, well, yeah, it's £10 a roll. I can't afford it. As it's 36 exposure, 35mm. Yeah, it's not. It's high contrast. The images have an interesting charcoal result without losing sharpness of the subject. This we need to see. Can't people donate? I really would sub Patreon, oughtn't I? Would there be support for that? It's forgiving on overexposure. Well, it's 400, so it probably needs to be. How is it on underexposure? When paired with dark red filter, you will find that this high contrast black and white film can also act as an infrared film with high sensitivity in the IR range. At that price, is it more expensive than Ilford SFX, a film that I've never been able to afford to use but would like to try? Ilford, if you're watching this, please get in contact, send me lots of your new samples. JCH is Japanese Camera Hunter. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's see, what else do we have that might be quite fun to look at? Oh, Street Candy. Sweeties. Sweeties. Sweeties full of silver. Yeah, not a good idea to eat street candy. It's a new film for sorry, it's not. It's a new film for 2017. I was going to say 1917. Back for a second run after selling out the initial stock. Yeah. This is all coming from Analog Wonderland. I've never bought from them. I don't know what their service is like. I know nothing about them. It just happened to be a site I found. Silver print. It's probably also do it. Hunt around. If you want this stuff, hunt around for it. You'll find it. Possibly at a better price. High sensitivity, high contrast, black and white film makes perfect street photography in dramatic light conditions. If it's high contrast and you start putting it in dramatic light conditions, you're going to end up with something like lith film. Actually, that could be quite fun. Next on my list, this one we've mentioned before. This is the Berger, Bergger. I think it's German. Panchro. Got no idea how you really pronounce it. This is a 400 ISO. It's now available in 35mm and 400, 35mm and 120. at 400 speed. It, it's an interesting film. It was launched in 2017. For medium format photographers who seem to quite like the exposure latitude. We like exposure latitude, don't we? Except on sheet film, where it's not so important because we can develop each sheet according to our needs. It's an expensive way of doing it, but you can. It partly comes from its rare double emulsion setup, which allows for different sized grain in the final image. I'm doing my owl impersonation. It's not a very good owl impersonation. Yeah, I would like to try. I would like to see what this two sizes of grain actually does. 120 roll is £5.50 from these people, possibly cheaper elsewhere. Anything else of any great excite? Oh, next wonder film, Lumography Potsdam Kino, I don't know. Anyway, so this one I'm looking at is a 120, 100 ISO roll film. It's silver heavy, apparently. Silver heavy panchromatic black and white cinema film cut from German cine stock. It's coming in 120. 120 is a bit of an odd size, isn't it? About 60mm wide. So, were they buying master rolls and chopping them up? Don't know. Anyway, it's chopped up specially for Lumography and launched in 2019. Fine grained, high contrast. Unleash your inner movie maker and create legendary images. Yeah, okay. £8 a roll. That's, 80 pence every time I release the shutter on the Mamiya. Okay. You can make up your own minds. Here's one that I've not seen before. This is a Fuma. Is this a Fuma Retropan? It's 120, so it's not, it's 320 ISO. With a wonderfully soft emulsion. I do hope that, it's like the old Adox emulsion that as soon as it got wet it slid off the substrate and ended up in the bottom of the developing tank. Actually it wasn't that bad, but it was delicate. Delivering low contrast to all your images, this 35mm film will help you create beautiful portraits in gorgeous lighting. So we've got to create gorgeous lighting first. So we're back to high contrast, aren't we? Dramatic stuff. Beauty dish isn't really working, is it? I still need a plastic surgeon. Gorgeous lighting. It's also commonly used in technical photography to reproduce images without imposing harsh contrast restraints. A gentle final look. Oh, fluffy film. 36 exposure rolls, £5 from this mob. I'll have a look and see how much it is from Silverprint. I shall do that now. Shock Horror, Silverprint, Retropan, £3.71 a roll. 120 no, you know what I mean, £4.9. And you can even get it in bulk, 17 metres. Oh, it says no stock. Maybe you can't. Retropan's available in 120 and 35. Agfa Photo's still doing their APX. RERA Pan. A faster speed version of the very popular Retropan 100. This film is for vintage cameras that use 127 size format. Yes, I do have 127 size spirals, and strangely enough I have an enlarger that will run 127. Do I have a 127 camera? Yes, I do somewhere. It is £15 a roll. T-Max is still kicking about. The usual run of, RPX is still kicking about from Rolly or whatever you want to call it. Potsdam Kino, yeah, that's still It's reappearing. There's a whole string of films. Oh, Rolly Retro is just been repackaged, but it does look rather sexy. Can you describe packaged film as sexy? No, not really, can you? Silbera, or however it's pronounced. This is a slightly interesting one, he says, hopefully. Derived from the same base stock as the Ultima 200, but a low ISO, this film is faster than the original. As a 100 ISO film that claims to be faster than a 200 ISO film. Perfect for landscape creativity. It produces flat negs, it's a pet base, so yeah. £6.50 for 36 exposure. Okay, that's not the only thing. We've got Svima, which is 64 ISO black and white Russian film. It's £9.50 a roll, and that's 24 exposures. That's probably the most expensive black and white film ever invented. But it is, yeah, you know, it has its roots back in the USSR. It would be great for the commie camera months, you know, Red October. If you really want to splash out and be silly for Red October, but it's 64 ISO, you know, in October, it's going to be really difficult to use. Well, not difficult, it's going to really test a lot of people. I mean, if you're 87 years old and been in the darkroom since you were 3, like I have, I'm not 87 years old, but then, okay, it'll work. Cinema 52 XX, I can guess what that is. That's also Silbera. That's £11 a roll. And that's probably Kodak XX. Yeah, it claims to be Kodak XX. It can be pushed all the way to ISO 6400 and pulled back as far as 6. It's not 60, it's not 600, it's 6, ISO 6. It can apparently be mutilated between 6400 ISO and 6 ISO. It's nearly as slow as paper. I've exposed paper, the paper negs in the Cambo at 3 ISO, and that usually work quite well. Says it's best at its native 250. I thought its native was 200 on XX, but yeah. And there's a U200 as well, which is £8 a roll. SFX is still about. Adox HR, that one's a new one. Adox, yeah, we know about Adox. Adox has been about for years. Yeah. We know all about Adox. Shut up, listen. Brand new Adox film announced in October 2018. So it's not that brand new anymore. I just picked up on it a year and a bit later. It's adapted from technical high resolution film, blah blah blah. 50 ISO, ultra fine grain and moderate contrast. It's been designed for travel photography and landscapes in mind. Sensitive across a full range of visible spectrum and a great film for experimenting with use of different filters and what does every film do these days? Infrared. Yeah, right. It's 50 ISO. It might be quite infrared sensitive, but yeah, I do sometimes have difficulty believing these claims. Rollei Ortho 25. Ortho 25 from Rollei. I wonder who made that then. I wonder where that's coated. Probably in one of the many iterations of Agfa somewhere, or manifestations of Agfa. So if I'm a highly technical emulsion, which means it needs bright light, but reward you with very fine detail, strong contrast and high tonal sensitivity. Isn't aren't high tonal sensitivity and strong contrast somewhat mutually exclusive? Not completely mutually exclusive, but yeah, you do wonder. Perfect for images where accuracy and definition are essential, scientific photography at its best. So I've got to go and get a microscope with an adapter to clamp a camera to it. Right, whatever. It's 35 exposures, £8. And then we get into the interesting things. This is a group. I'm going to do a separate video for this. Washi, W-I-S-H-I. Washi? I have no idea. I'm going to tempt you slightly with this stuff. I'll just read the description of one and show you a little picture. This is the 5x7. W is the original washi film and is the first large format 5x7 in production that is backed with Japanese paper instead of plastic. This will give your photos a fascinating and unique textured look, a signature of visual interest that cannot be simulated by other means. This is an attempt at my somewhat puzzled and a dubious owl look. And something that seagulls do, often over people's cars. If you can afford 40 quid for a box of 25 sheets, actually it doesn't say how many sheets, it's 25 ISO. It says pack size 1. It better not be 40 quid for a single sheet. Be very cross. Washi we're going to do a separate video on, because washi looks really quite exciting. My face is going a funny colour because the sun's just come out as well. It's coming through the window. Washi looks quite exciting. We're going to play with that. Well, we're not going to play with it because I can't afford it. FPP Eastman XX 950 at roll. Well, we know what XX is. It's black and white motion picture negative film. Like Tri-X, only half the speed. Like Pan-X, only twice the speed. A XX is still in production, as is Tri-X, but not as a motion picture film. I don't think it is. Rollei Super Pan. That's a 200 thing. Stacks of this washi stuff. It comes, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Yeah, it's. Should we not go there? And the Silbera is also available in lots of funny flavours. Those two can have a separate video. Cosmo Photo Mono Film 120. Now available a medium format. To celebrate the launch of Cosmo Photo 120, we introduced it. Okay, right. A beautiful film in both the branding and the images it captures. Cosmo Photo takes inspiration from East European graphic art and the space race to bring some Soviet excitement to our medium format cameras. As he says, from our medium format cameras. This 120 film is a long established emulsion from a European film producer and will give you black and white images with a gorgeous grainy finish. All of us want grey. Well suited to sunny days and studio lighting, a fantastic addition to the brand after the success of the 35mm version. Okay, well at least we can get it in the UK at £5 a roll. Lumography Orca? We'll give that one a miss. Lumography, a simple use 35mm camera. £17.50, I guess it's disposable. Fuma is also appearing now on this list in retro packaging. It's a bit circus-like, it's a bit, you know, colourful, a bit clowny. Acros 100 in 120 pack. 5 rolls for 52 quid. Well, I suppose we can get it, it's not easy. Harman are producing a 35mm film camera that's reloadable for 30 quid. At least they're producing one. Cine Still black and white film. I wonder what that's based on. £10 a roll, probably something fairly nasty. Rollei Infrared. No, not Rollei Infrared. Rollei's most creative black and white film, deliberately dramatic whilst retaining high detail and excellent sharpness. A wonderful film for exploring scenes with lots of contrast and atmosphere, for producing draw-dropping photographs. They have only released limited quantities of their 2019 production run, so don't wait to stock up. 36 exposures, £9. just noticed quite a few of these weird film, so-called weird film manufacturers, so-called manufacturers of. It's doubtful whether they're all manufacturing. They're probably getting it coated elsewhere. Right. Latest one that's just sprung up right in front of me. It looks brilliant. It's Cat Labs. Cat Labs, as in meow. As in Ringo over the back there making his own film, trying to flog it to me for, 27 tins of whiskers or something. Brand new film for 2019. Cat Labs X Film 80 is a fine-grained, slow speed. Well, it would be. It's 80 ISO. High silver content film, specially designed for a huge array of shooting conditions. General purpose film. Although note that grain visibility will likely increase with the ISO used. Yes. Similarly to Kodak famous Panatomic X, Cat Labs X Film 80 is a special treat for black and white medium format film shooters. Did I ever try Panatomic X? I can't remember. Rated at 50 ISO when shooting under studio situations if you're looking for fine grain, but it can be pushed to 800 while still delivering great results. Probably not in the same tank. Enjoy exposure range and please share your results and experiences with us, which means that they've not tried it. 120 roll is sold out. It should have been £7. Right. I have noticed that a lot of these film producers are producing disposable cameras as well. Revolog, Snowvlogs, the winter film. Oh yeah, it's a film that just puts snowflakes all over your pictures. It's more washy. I don't think it was pantomime season. And that's about it. Except Cinestill are doing a black and white film developer kit. Makes up 1 litre. It's 20 quid. Fantastic monobath solution that ships in powder form for simple, easy home developing. Enough chemicals to process over 16 rolls of black and white film. The simple step solution means that you need 1 processing tank. Have you ever used 1 processing tank? And some water to rinse your film at the end. Super fast development of regular black and white films, 3 minutes at 27 degrees C. Push pull by adjusting the temperature, 6 degrees per stop. Fully archival, odour free, generally pretty painless. Unless you drink it. Make a solution up to 1 litre in warm water, 27 degrees. Bath your exposed film in the solution in the dark. Rinse, hang to dry. That's it. Exception rules apply for the Berger Pancro, Adox CMS and Rolly Retro 80 and JCH Street Pan for full information. In other words, it doesn't work with them, does it? Monobath Films, or Monobath Developer, because it's a combined developer and fix. Always going to raise my eyebrows. Very high. They don't go high enough. Hang on. No, it just hurts. That's it for now. That's a quick crash through what I found out on the internet today. As I say, that came from Analog Wonderland. Take a look at the other main suspects, whether it be Silverprint or Photo First, what they called, First Call or AG. There are a lot of film suppliers out there now, and I'm sure that they all have a different mix of films, but there's a lot to play with. It's going to cost us a lot of money. Hopefully we'll see you all again. So, we will see you soon, because we've got to do the washy one, because there's so many of them. We have to do them separately. Thank you. Bye bye.